I'm resetting the NHL to a fantasy draft and will be selecting 20 players to build my team. For today's challenge, I can only select players that do not have a gold X factor. After selecting my roster, we will assemble the lines and simulate through the franchise mode, hopefully winning a Stanley Cup. Depending on how you look at it, we've either been getting really lucky or really unlucky with the randomization here recently, getting a bunch of all-star teams, but let's try and find out what team we're using today. It's the Pity Pens, who just so happen to be on the left side as well. You know what, Jabroni? Once again, I'm in a decent mood today. I'll give you another shot. The inspiration for this draft actually came from who I consider a franchise master in Tugi. I asked him if it's a lot harder to win the cup this year, especially in the first year, or if I'm just bad. And from what I understood of what he said is the game is kind of a mess and it seems like the underdog wins a little too much. So that's what we're trying to build here today, an underdog. We're either going to get draft pick position 8 or 7 because of Sidney Crosby. It's just the way it works. So I'm going to say that we get the 7, but let's see just how wrong I am. I mean, I'd prefer if we had a really late pick. Yeah, 16's okay. Who is the best player without a gold X factor is my cue of the day. Just so we're clear, and I might have mentioned this in the intro, maybe not, we'll see how it goes, but I am not counting abilities. Abilities are okay. It's just the gold X factor they can't have. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Jesper Bratt has 3 abilities. He does not have an X factor. He's 92 overall, first line playmaker, and 7.8. Are you kidding me? First line power forward Tage Thompson? That seems pretty good to me. Yeah, let's try it out. Why does it shock me that John Tavares is listed as a sniper? I'm not going to draft him, but here we go. Rasmus Anderson. He's got 5 abilities and he's only making 4.5 milli. That sounds unreal. Let's just stack up the right side of our decor, or maybe one of them can play the left side. But either way, John Carlson, our next selection. I do want a good goaltender. Markstrom's right there, 4.1. I feel like he has, yeah, he doesn't have any abilities. We have Bobrovsky making 10 million. He's 1 overall worse. How much do abilities come into play there? Would I be insane for taking Blackwood? But I feel like we don't have to take him yet if I do that. You know what? Let's go for Markstrom. Here's a first-line sniper for us. Val Nichushkin. He doesn't have any abilities, but this guy can score goals. A left-handed defenseman. Ekholm would be perfect. 6 million? How about it? Actually, I've just lied right to your face. We're going with Gostisbehere because he's making pretty much half the money. He's 1 overall worse. Offensive defenseman. My main reasoning is that I think Ekholm will still be there, whereas Gostisbehere, I'm not so sure. Will that take aged like milk? We've been pretty good with our cap space so far, so we can afford this guy, and I want him for the team. Dmitry Orlov. I don't know if I should try to find players with abilities. I think that helps the chemistry. But at the same time, I'm just going to talk to them anyway. I want to try to find role players so we don't have like a first liner on the second line. And that way, when we go to talk to them and boost the chemistry, they aren't going to tell me to kick rocks. Lowry should be a second liner. I guess you can't see from here. At this point, it should pretty much be free range because X factors are gone. So we have Claude Giroux up here, who is absolutely loaded. Decked out if you might. And he is our next pick. Second line sniper, Jordan Eberle. I know we just got Giroux. He is center / right wing, which isn't ideal, but he could either play the left side or we'll find someone else to play. No, we got to have Lowry there. Maybe Lowry could play the wing. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So I could be taking guys like this, but I want to find third liners. Like even if a Toronto would be questionable, I think he would want to be on the second line. Ooh. Oh, another sniper. You know what? Okay, I'm going against it for now because he is a left-handed sniper. So I'd say there's a chance that we play Eberle on the third line, or maybe we just play Frankie on the third line. But either way, we're going to have a sniper on our first 3, which I'm down for. You look like you'd want to be on the third line. Power forward has the 1 ability. 2.9, we can do that. Center / right wing, which Frankie could be on the left side. He was right wing / left wing, and he shot left. So this could work for us. And I think he'd want to be on the third line, so let's do it. Mason Appleton, will you be a fourth liner for me? I don't know if he will. 82 overall, that might be a little ambitious. Oh yeah, Caps legend, Anthony Beauvillier. Here we go. Marcus Foligno's going to want to be a third liner, isn't he? Grinder. I mean, we're not going to get everybody to buy in, so we'll have a few exceptions. Marcus Foligno being one of them. Maybe. How about we just have a sniper on every line? Who says no to that? Danforth. I've taken this guy a few times. He has a decent shooting category. It's definitely not the best in the world, but let's try it out. I'm not sure why I'm lying to your face so much today, but I have actually elected to go with Matthew Olivier instead. I hope you understand. Once again, this is going to be the final NHL game where I can draft Marc-Andre Fleury. What a GOAT. He's got 3 abilities. Welcome aboard. Now we need some third pairing defensemen. Keegan Colasar. Never forget when I took you over Marchenko. Good times. We need a defenseman who is left-handed, can be on the final pair and wants to be there, and also is not a defensive defenseman. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. We're taking a defensive defenseman because this guy has an ability, Nick Seeler, and we'll just talk to them. You know, they'll work together, sure. Here is an overview of the drafts. Now, normally I would look at this team and go, yikes, but this was our goal. So maybe, just maybe, there is a method to this madness. Mike Sullivan, you're now the coach of the Rangers, but this is me, bro. Hands off. What is going on with this? What am I looking at right now? Why is Jesper Bratt in the AHL? John Carlson, what are we doing? This team was super salary cap compliant. So I'm not really sure what we're after here, but anyway, I just called them all up. Thankfully, it worked. So John Carlson wants to be a top 2 defenseman. So that means Rasmus has to be on the second pair if we're going to have the chemistry go through. Nichushkin second line, Giroux second line, Lowry third line. Okay, so he might get a bit of a bump there. Eberle second. Or wait, no, Nichushkin's supposed to be on the first line. Lowry does shoot left. What is his face-off rating? 86. Giroux's 89. So I'm going to play him on the left side, even though he's only listed as a centerman. He'll figure it out. All 3 of these guys suck at face-offs, and I'm not really sure how this happened. Like, is Beauvillier not supposed to be on the 4th line? He is listed as a third line checking for... All right, well, the 4th line isn't getting any chemistry. Freddie Gaudreau has been demoted. He will be in the dot here because he has 77 faceoffs, which still isn't great, but it's good enough. What are we doing, people? Why is Nick Seeler up on the first pair? I let Jabroni have a little bit of fun with the lines, and this is what we get. John Carlson, you're going up here. Yeah, Hakanpää and Seeler. I knew they weren't going to get along. We'll talk about it. Markstrom and Fleury in the net. Let's go have some conversations and hopefully boost up the chemistry. So apparently every single player hates me. I'm going to simulate like a month and we'll try again. Just off the top of my head, Tage Thompson most points with 78, and we are going to have 44 wins. Oh, I didn't simulate past the preseason. That's on me, guys. I was wondering why it was having me do season goals. I was like, did they update this game or... So far, this team is not looking too good. Oh, no. All right, maybe. I turned Australian for a second there. Maybe, mate. Perhaps I spoke too soon because the boys are cooking. Out of nowhere. I have no idea how they just turned up the dial by 10, but here we are. Now that we're doing pretty good, are you guys gonna listen to me or still tell me to... Great. Never mind, they all still hate me. Some of these players were still real prick sticks, but we did have some breakthroughs. So we got a +5 now on the second line, which is awesome. We have a +3 for our first line, and our third line gets a 1, which is better than 0. Defensively, we're Hello?
I speak broken English.
Defensively, we are rocking a 2-1-2. There it is. And with all of that being said, we're going to continue simulating. Go Penguins. Really, roster management? You're going to interrupt me like that. Could this be the way? Could the Pittsburgh Penguins with no gold X factors, the underdogs, if you will, come out on top? We were first in the division. We still are, which is great to see. The Pittsburgh Penguins are absolutely on a heater. Let's keep it up. Big win over the Oilers. Senators, next victim. Take them down in overtime. We get a point against Tampa, so I'm not upset about it. Tugi might be him. Cannot confirm nor deny. We are 9 points up in the division. We do have one more game played than the Columbus Blue Jackets, but the third place team is nowhere near us. If we could just finish second in the league, that'd be the most ideal thing on the planet because I don't want the President's Trophy curse. Also, I would just like to politely point out that we have as many wins as I thought we were going to get in the entire season at the trade deadline. This could be one of the greatest teams I've ever assembled. We had a really good team recently, but I don't think they did this good. I've still got 4 players that I need to try and convince. Offensively, we're all set. We got a +4 on the first line. They're all bought in. We know the second line is already bought in. We got the third line cooking now. Defensively, John Carlson finally stopped being a prick stick, but we still have Rasmus Anderson that doesn't want any of it. I'll try again. Don't worry. The persistence will be there. That's a crazy week of hockey. We had 4 games and only let in a total of 3 goals. 8-1 win over the Tampa Bay Lightning. We are going to get the President's Trophy, I'm pretty sure. Maybe there's another team that's up there with us, but I don't think so. 55 wins. We still have 3 games remaining. This could potentially be a 58-win season. If we take down New Jersey, we do not. 57 still possible. 56 still possible. I'm fine with 55, though. I do unfortunately think that gets us the President's Trophy, which I do not want. This guy, what is wrong with you? Just say you hate me. Let's get it out there. Your Pittsburgh Penguins, first in the Metro Division with 114. Is it enough for the league? Yes, it is. We did get the President's Trophy above the Florida Panthers here. 3 points above them. Only a slight finesse again. Utah Hockey Club 15th in the league. No dice, but the Bruins and the Rangers. Not the Rangers. I don't know why I said that. The Islanders get in. But they were 16th, so that's fine. This man went crazy. Tage Thompson, 104. Jesper Bratt, 100. Nichushkin only had 67. He did nothing for that first line. Well, I guess he was plus 37, but he can thank these 2 for that. Somehow Claude Giroux was a -2. Not big on that. Gostisbehere had 57 points. Nice. We had a defenseman top 5 on our team, and John Carlson's right there. Both goaltenders played really well and have similar stats, which is kind of creepy. They both had 2 overtime losses, 2 shutouts, both had a 914, and their GAA also similar. Mackenzie Blackwood, a goaltender I almost selected, led the league with 43 wins. He had a 913 save percentage, 915 for Levi. Good for him. What is this season for defensemen? 75 points for Makar, 75 points for Quinn Hughes. No, not happening. 73 for Doug the Thug. And your Art Ross winner will be Connor McDavid with 112. He also had 61 tucks, which looks like he tied Leon for... Nope, never mind. Pappy gets it, 65 from out of nowhere, just like an RKO. The Oilers must have had the first or maybe second pick, maybe even third. Sometimes Quinn Hughes and Cale Makar go before McDavid. Time to look at the important stats here. Fights, Foligno, 24. Good stuff. He would also lead the league for penalty minutes. We have Olivier down there who had 16 points on the season. What an absolute mad lad. Our first round opponent, the New York Rangers. They've got Mason McTavish, Jack Roslovic, and Mark Stone. Just looking at, we have a much better team, so we're probably gonna lose. This is the underdog. Real good on the left side. Hedman, Wallman, and Sanheim. On the right, I've seen better. Oh, they do have this guy, Sorokin. Brought him back. Could be an issue. First 3 games, you know the rules. I'm not bending them today. Let's see how we do against the New York Islanders. We come out of the gate with a 4-2 win, and then we lose 4-3. Come on, win this one. Win this one. Let's go. One more game. If we get a dub here, I'm going to be so relieved. But if we take an L, all right, we've got lots of wiggle room. I am confident we're winning. So confident. Let's go. In the conference semifinals, we're going up against a bunch of jerks. Very interesting roster. They've got Ehlers, Braden Point, and Roach on their first line. Kane, Hurdle, and Zucker. It's a good second line. Their third line's insane. Turbo, Bennett, and Oshie, who I guess isn't even really playing, but they've also got Charmak with Brodeen, OEL, and Trouba. How'd they draft this team? And they brought back Freddie. All right, well, I still believe in the lads. We can get this done. First 3 games. You already know. How can the Pittsburgh Penguins fare against the Carolina Hurricanes? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. Let's win this. I don't want to have a best of 3. I like our chances, but I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself here. But I am confident. Fire me up. The Florida Panthers are the only thing blocking us from the Stanley Cup final. They have Cirelli, they've got Pappy, and they've got Konechny. It's a good first line. On their second line, they've got Holmstrom, Roy, and Moore. Their depth is all right. I think I like ours better. Solid defense. Siegenthaler with Dobson, Carlo, and Moser. And then even Letty and Petrie is real good for that final pairing. And they have Joseph Wall in net. All right, we can get this done. First 3 games. Come on, guys. That's huge. Oh, no. Come on, win this one. Yes. All right, best of 3. Can we take the advantage? Oh, my. Don't even let them push 7. Don't do it. You did it. Real-time sim. Pittsburgh Penguins win, and we move on to the Stanley Cup final, which would be incredible. How do we let up a short-handed goal? That just sets the tone of the entire game now. We're going to lose. Come on, Penguins. No, Max Domi scores to extend the lead to 2. I do not like what I'm seeing. Thank you, Eberle. Thank you. We needed that big time. We're only down by 1 now. Shots are about even. Oh, man. I can't do this. I cannot do this anymore. That's it. I'm turning away. Not looking. All right, I'm looking. Can we score a goal early in the third at least so that, we have some kind of hope? Power play? Are we going to get a shorthanded goal scored against us again? 5-on-3? Here we go. A hack and push, sure. No, man. Let me be excited for like half a second. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. We need 2 goals. And the Florida Panthers just have our number. We tried. Your Stanley Cup final, the Florida Panthers, and the Dallas Stars. Dallas has Zuccarello, they have Chandler, and they have Reinhart. Reinhart's actually so good. Second line is nasty. They've got Connor McMichael, Adam Fantilli, and Bjorkstrand. Yuck. Werenski and Doughty together is unreal. Spurgeon with Ruda and Shillington, DeMello. Good stuff. The Gus Bus is in the net, backed up by Soup. I will spam the X button on this controller to advance 1 day at a time so we can be awarded a Stanley Cup champion. Right now, Florida running away with it, but the Dallas Stars get back into her here. Oh, wow. They really got back. Florida. You won the first 2 games? And then you choked it. I am not upset with any of you. In fact, I am beyond gassed with all of you. Jesper Bratt, 22 points. Tage Thompson, 19. Shane Gostisbehere had 14, with John Carlson having 13. Somehow Marcus Foligno put up 10. I love that. Can't blame these guys. Markstrom had a 912, 276. He had a shutout in the playoffs. Flower came in for relief, I guess, at some point. Maybe... What now? I was going to say maybe Markstrom got hurt, but injuries aren't on. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just getting lit up like a Christmas tree early in one game. So they threw him in and then he shut them out the rest. The Gus Bus had a 917 save percentage en route to a Stanley Cup. 921 for UC with IC down here. Gibson only played 7 games and somehow had a near 930 but lost. Dewey had 16 points. He would be your defensive leader. Moser and Gostisbehere and Dobson all had 14. Pappy had 27 points. Konechny had 24. Jesper Bratt had 22 and 17. Give him the Conn Smythe. I assume they're going to give it to this guy, which again, this is a prime opportunity to give it to the goaltender, which they won't do. Connor McDavid wins the Art Ross, but the heart goes to Konechny. That's a new face. Dougie Hamilton wins the Norris. Congrats. Brandon Hagel with the Lady Bang. Celebrini gets the Calder. San Jose brought him back. Smart move. Oh yeah, Conn Smythe goes to Reinhart. Why wouldn't it? Joseph Decord gets the Vezina, but the Jennings goes to Flower and Jacoby Markstrom. Things you love to see. Sandberg awarded the Bill Masterton, Jack Adams to Esposito. Barkov is assigned the Selke Trophy. Tage Thompson, let's go, gets the Ted Lindsay. And your Rocket Richard winner is Austin Matthews, who had 65, I believe it was. Here is your tree of the playoff variety. Man, we were absolutely on one. We got to 7 against the Panthers. I feel like we would have taken down Dallas. I feel like I got to try this one again, because that was so successful. I don't remember what the stipulation was for the last draft that we did insanely well, but I think it was the same kind of thing. I tried to sort of pick like the positions, and by that I mean the lines. I don't know why I said positions. Instead of taking 85 overall David Perron to play on the third line, I picked a third liner. You know what I mean? Anyway, I've had trouble speaking this entire recording, and that's just going to keep being a recurring theme. So I think it's about time we called it. If I don't have 60,000 by the time this video comes out, What are we doing here? I hope you guys have a great day, evening, whenever you're watching this. Appreciate you all the same. We're gonna get a cup in this game. It will happen. I'm sure of it.